Well, hello, YouTube. Hello, and welcome back to Undiluted TV with K Steps. I'm coming to you right now with breaking news. All charges, all 16 counts, all charges have now been dropped against actor, singer Jussie Smollet. Yes, all charges have been dropped against Jussie Smollet. This morning it was announced that all charges have been dropped against Jussie Smollett. Why do I find that funny? Well, I mean, he's Hollywood. He's Hollywood. He's gay, and he's a part of the LGBTQ community. And even more important than that, I think Jussie was about to start naming names. I think Jussie was about to start, letting people know what this whole thing was really all about, and why he had done it in the first place. And I think he was about to out some people. I think he was about to let some folks know that he was not in this alone, and that there were some very powerful people behind him, behind that whole scheme, that whole setup, that whole hoax. But again, all charges against actor singer Jussie Smollett have been dropped. I'm reading this out of the AP News right now, and of course the link to this and other articles will be in the description box. But this is coming from AP. It was about 35 minutes ago by Amanda Sitz and Michael Tarm. And here we go. Chicago Associated Press. In an astonishing reversal, prosecutors on Tuesday abruptly dropped all charges against Jussie Smollett, abandoning the case barely 5 weeks after the Empire actor was accused of lying to police about being the target of a racist, anti-gay attack in downtown Chicago. I can barely read. This thing is so funny. The mayor and police chief blasted the decision and stood by the investigation that concluded Smollett staged a hoax. A visibly angry Mayor Rahm Emanuel called it a whitewash of justice and lashed out at Smollett. He asked, "Is there no decency in this man?" Smollett's attorneys said his record had been wiped clean of the 16 felony counts related to making a false report that he was assaulted by two men. The actor insisted that he had been truthful and consistent on every single level since day one. Now, if that's the case and he was truthful, then when he says he was attacked, then he was attacked. And when he says that the two brothers were the guys that attacked him because, of course, when you saw the still of them, he said he had no doubt that they were the ones, and it was proven that they were the guys on the still. Then that means that they actually attacked him. So are charges now going to be pressed against them? Is that what we're going to see now? If he was being truthful and he was telling the truth all the time, and he was actually assaulted by these two men, okay, are we now going to see charges pressed against them? And then, after a while, then Jussie comes through and drops the charges against them? Because that's the only way that this thing can go down. If he was really being truthful, then that is automatically the next step, is these two brothers have to be charged and arrested for committing this crime. Anyway, let's keep going with the article. It would not be my mother's son if I was capable of one drop of what I was being accused of, he told reporters after a court hearing. He thanked the state of Illinois for attempting to do what's right. Oh my God. It was not immediately clear what prompted the decision to dismiss the case. In a statement, the Cook County Prosecutor's Office offered no detailed explanation. After reviewing all of the facts and circumstances of the case, including Mr. Smollett's volunteer service in the community and agreement to forfeit his bond, to the city of Chicago. We believe this outcome is just a disposition and appropriate resolution to this case. The statement from spokeswoman Tandra Somerton said, Smollet paid $10,000 in bail to get out of jail after his arrest. So he forfeited his bond. He forfeited his bond, which was $10,000. And she's saying something about his volunteer service in the community. So those two, I guess, were supposed to be an appropriate punishment for a false report and for him lying, because basically that's what it sounds like she's saying. After reviewing all of the facts and circumstances of the case, including Mr. Smollett's volunteer service in the community and agreement to forfeit his bond to the city of Chicago, we believe this outcome is a just disposition and appropriate resolution to this case. So basically that's what she's saying. Because of his volunteer service in the community and the fact that he agreed to forfeit $10,000, that's punishment enough. That's basically what she's saying. Typically, a minimum condition of dropping cases and some acceptance of responsibility. Outside court, neither Smollet nor his legal team appeared to concede anything about his original report. So he's still not accepting any kind of responsibility. He's still not admitting that the report was false or anything else. The defense attorney Patricia Brown Holmes said Smollet was attacked by two people he was unable to identify, and a victim who was vilified and made to appear as a perpetrator. What? When on national TV he identified the two people in the steal as being the ones who attacked him and said he had no reason not to believe that it was them. Authorities allege Smollet knew the men and arranged for them to pretend to attack him. Among the unasked questions was whether prosecutors will still believe Smollet concocted the attack or whether new evidence emerged that altered their view of events. Emanuel said the city saw its reputation dragged through the mud by Smollet's plan to promote his career. The hoax, the mayor said, could endanger other gay people who report hate crimes. Now this casts a shadow of whether we're telling the truth. And he did this all in the name of self-promotion, he said. Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson stood by the department's investigation and said Chicago is still owed an apology. I've heard that they wanted their day in court with TV cameras so that America could know the truth. They chose to hide behind secrecy and broker a deal to circumvent the judicial system. Smollet was accused of falsely reporting to authorities that he was attacked around 2 a.m. on January 29th in downtown Chicago. Investigators said he made the report because he was unhappy with his pay on Empire and believed it would promote his career. Wow. So we know that whole story. We know the story about the mega hats and the gay racial slurs, and we know about the two brothers, Abel and Ola Arcendero. But bottom line, it's over. It's over. All the charges have been dropped against Jussie Smollet in this surprising, all of a sudden reversal, sudden turnaround. The prosecutors have just decided that they were just not going to go forward with this case, and they have dropped all charges against him. And I think it's funny. There's a connection between Kim Fox, who's also a prosecutor, and she recused herself from the case because she had a personal relationship with Jussie Smollet. She knew him personally. There's something about the ex. Let me get this information together. Somehow or another, Michelle Obama is involved in this. Michelle Obama is involved in this. I think it was the press secretary, the ex-press secretary for Michelle Obama, got in touch with Kim Fox who would have been the prosecutor on this case, but of course she recused herself because she didn't want to present any kind of conflict of interest. Supposedly she got in touch, the ex, what did I just say? Secretary of Public Relations Secretary or whatever of Michelle Obama got in touch with Kim Foxx and asked Kim Foxx to see if she couldn't get the FBI involved in the case when they were first investigating the case, because the family was concerned that the investigation wouldn't be carried out right. You know, they were concerned about certain areas of the investigation, so they contact this ex press secretary of Michelle Obama and asked her to get in touch with Kim Foxx. So somehow or another, this press secretary and Michelle Obama had a conversation, and it was made known to Kim Foxx that Michelle, you know, was supporting the family in, you know, being concerned that maybe the investigation wouldn't be carried out correctly, or something would happen as far as the investigation was concerned. So they wanted the FBI called in. So Kim Foxx then went to the Chicago PD and suggested to the Chicago PD that they called in the FBI. And of course, we know that the FBI was actually called in because the FBI, took the letter that supposedly was mailed to the Empire Studios, the studio, and against Jussie, and they checked that whole letter out, and they ran tests on it and all of this, because it was supposed to be some kind of little white powder that was in it, but they later found out that it was crushed up ibuprofen. So it's funny how Michelle Obama's name gets thrown in this. It's funny how all of these conspiracy theories and all of this have been going around about who was really involved and who was really behind this whole thing, and suggestions have been made that there were certain politicians that might have had something to do with it, and that there were certain directors and people in very powerful positions that may have been connected to this somehow, or maybe had been behind this whole hoax or set up or whatever. And it's just mighty funny how just all of a sudden all of these charges disappear. All of these charges against Jussie Smollet have just disappeared. All charges have been dropped. All charges against Jussie Smollet, all 16 felony charges against Jussie Smollet have been dropped. Wow. So it just goes to show, if you're connected to the right people, if you have the right amount of money, you know what I'm saying, if you're willing to play ball and you're willing to push the right agendas for the right people, this is what happens. This is what happens. This is what happens. Because in no way whatsoever do I think that he's innocent. Yes, I believe it was a hoax. Yes, I believe he set it up. Yes, I believe that the two brothers, Albero, what how do you pronounce their names? Let me get it back to it. The Orsendero. Yes, I believe the Orsendero brothers were used as pawns, and they still may be used as pawns. It's very, very, very possible that we might see in the next few days or the coming weeks, we may see charges pressed against them. But yes, I do believe that they were paid to become a part of this. Yes, I do believe that the whole attack was set up. I believe it was a hoax. I believe that Jussie Smollett lied about it. I believe that. But Jussie Smollett just happens to be connected to the right people. Jussie Smollett just happens to be gay and connected to the right community and willing to push the right agenda. And then too, I do believe that it's very, very, very possible that Jussie had insider information. You know, that Jussie had information against certain people at the top, or certain powerful people, and they may have been very well concerned that he may start dropping bombs and he may start dropping names. But you can best well believe his innocence is not the reason why all of a sudden these 16 counts, these 16 felony counts have been dropped against him. You know, not when he went on national TV and sat with Robin Roberts and identified those two men on the steel as the two men that had attacked him. So either they attacked him because he paid them, or they attacked him because they just attacked him. But you know, but why would two black men attack another black man, you know, hurling racial slurs at him and talking about this is mega country? So, you know, it's going to be very, very interesting to see how this goes. You know, and it's saying here in the article how he asserted that he could see one of the men. This was Jussie during the time right after he claimed he was attacked, and you know, he talked about the description of him and all of that, and he claimed he couldn't really see him because they had on, it was dark, and they had on these full face masks. Yeah, it said he asserted that he could see one of them was white because he could see the skin around his eyes. So it's going to be real interesting to see how this plays out. It's going to be real interesting to see what happens to the Ostendero brothers. It's going to be real interesting to see if you know, the police and the mayor and whoever else, you know, decides that they want to try to pursue this. You know, it's going to be real interesting to see how this whole thing pans out. It's going to be real interesting. But I just wanted to bring you this breaking news. I just wanted, I mean, less than an hour ago, all charges, the prosecutor came out in Chicago and let it be known that all charges, all 16 felony counts, all charges against Jussie Smollet, Empire actor Jussie Smollet, all charges have been dropped against him. You know, I'm sure there are going to be some press conferences. I'm sure a lot of people are going to weigh in on this. I'm sure social media is going to go crazy. But all charges have been dropped against him. And you know, as more information comes out, I'll keep you posted, and you know, and I'll let you know the latest on what happens next, because like I said, it's going to be real interesting to see how this goes. You know, to see what the next few days and the next 2 or 3 weeks are going to bring as far as this case is concerned. Is it just going to die? You know, and you're just not going to hear anything else about it, or you know, it's something else. You know, it's something else behind this. Because I just, you know, I just can't believe that it's just over. That this is just the end of it. I can't believe that. It's more to this. It's a whole lot more to this. You know, they're saying they don't know whether, you know, the prosecutors, you know, unearthed or came up with some new evidence that somehow or another says that Smollett wasn't lying, that he wasn't, you know. So the bottom line is, if he wasn't lying and he was attacked, and these two men have, the brothers, the Ostendero brothers, have been identified as the two men that attacked him, does that now mean that we will see them facing charges? It's going to be real interesting to see what happens. Real interesting. But folks, understand, this is Hollywood. This is Hollywood. This is the American justice system. This is it. The right connections, the right amount of money, knowing the right people, pushing the right agendas, being attached to the right people and the right agendas, you can get away with murder. White police officers get away with it every day. White police officers get away with murder every day. with video proof of their crimes. White America gets away with this kind of stuff all the time. And the only reason why you see a black man walking away without even having a day in court, without even having to answer to the charges that were leveled against him, the only reason why you see a black man walking away from it is because he's a black man that fits white supremacy's agenda. He's a black man that fits their narrative. He's gay. He's a part of the whole Hollywood scene. He can be used by the whole Me Too thing. You know, but also keep in the back of your mind, we have never believed that Jussie was in this by himself. That this was just something that he came up with on his own. We have never believed that. We have always believed that there was more to it than that. That there were more people involved. That there were people at a much higher level. Very powerful people in the background involved in pulling strings. And I do believe that it's very possible that they were concerned about whether or not Jussie was gonna break and start naming names. The plan that they had, the whole way that they set it up didn't work. You know, it didn't come out the way that they thought it was going to come out. And you know, and Jussie had to be willing to go, you know, you go ahead and don't worry about it. You know, yes, they may charge you. And yes, you know, they may charge you with committing a crime or whatever. But don't worry about it. You know, we'll take care of it. And that's exactly what they did. They took care of it. He was supposed to become the poster boy for the face of hate crimes against gay people. Basically, they're not concerned about hate crimes against black people. Hate crimes have been going on against black people ever since we got here. For 464 years, hate crimes have been going on against us, and nobody has ever gave a shit. But he was going to be the poster boy for gay crimes against gay men, for hate crimes against gay men. And Me Too and the women's rights movement and feminism and LGBTQ and all of that, all of them were going to use it. All of them were going to benefit from him being that voice, that face. You know, he got on stage and said he was going to be the gay. He was the gay Tupac. So this whole victims mentality that they're trying to push, and you know, and trying to get all of these extra protections and all of this for the LGBT community and all that. He was getting ready to be the face of all of that. It was because of this. It was because of this alleged attack that Kamala Harris, Cory Booker, and that whole bunch was able to go ahead on and get that bill pushed through, that anti-lynching bill. That wasn't really concerned about black folks being lynched. It was more concerned about another layer of protections for the LGBTQ community. And because of this attack, they were able to go ahead on and get that pushed through and enacted into law. And it wasn't until after that was done that it came out that this was a hoax. So it accomplished some of its purpose. But once the police really started investigating and really started pulling all the facts together and pulling all the evidence together, you know, the truth started coming out. And you know, and that's when they let Jussie know, you know, don't worry about it, we got you. We got you. And sure enough, they got it. All charges dropped. All charges. So again, I'll keep you posted as more evidence comes out. You know, keep your eyes and your ears open, because like I said, it's going to be very, very interesting to see how the next few days and how the next few weeks pan out. It's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen to the Arcendero brothers. It's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen to Jussie. It's going to be interesting to see what now happens as far as Empire is concerned. It's going to be real interesting. So stay tuned, and we'll bring you all the latest information. But once again, as of less than an hour ago, prosecutors suddenly decided to do a whole reverse and have dropped all charges. 16 felony charges have dropped all charges against actor Jussie Smollet. We'll keep you posted. Y'all have a good day.